Okay, well, gonna do a quick Wednesday cast. Take a look at the nations. Yep, so welcome. This is the Ante Bellum Wednesday mod, so let's run into it. Japan, good ruler, spending decent on advisors, not the best income, not the best balance, behind on ideas. He's only has a Nippon trade node and version up here, I guess. Japan started colonizing all the Pacific Islands while Korea went up here, right? Yeah. So Japan went expansion. He's not discovering anything. He's just getting maps from Korea, I would assume. Um, yeah, I guess they're still waiting on taking inward perfection. Like, if you're colonizing, you might as well take this and see if you can get the one in the merchant guilds as well. Yeah, 31 force limit, 25 naval force limit. Your nation is not geared for war at the moment. You got some buildings built, so at least that's good, but none of the main, like, yeah, this Japan is weak. He's allied to everyone in Asia, of course, with quarters coming up, that's bound to change. But later on, as every Japan should, go fortify your straits. That will help you tremendously, and I heard he can get a good government reform, so that's nice for him. Yeah, well, countries is behind, but it's not looking bad, it's just behind. Need to catch up, needs to get some buildings done. And then he can use the inward perfection once he's finished mopping up this, and I don't know, I guess he doesn't have more wars then. I guess this thing opened up in this session, so maybe he'll go down here and have wars here, and down here as well. So when you've finished planning wars, then, like, when the area has been mopped up, then you go inward perfection, and you actually really want to, this scales with exempt from seized land. So actually, if you take this and you seize land, you automatically gets it to 100. So actually, that's nice. You don't have to go to 100 and then go back down to get 30, have the dominant. So yeah, country's looking well. Oh well, it's not looking well. It's got a long way to go. All this are unloyal because he's diverting trade, but then he can just take them one by one and integrate them. Your armies are at full maintenance while you're not at war. Please make those 3 ducats more. Take the diet, get something useful there. Focus on your mana generation, you focus on admin, that's likely correct. Yeah, well, country just needs to catch up. Let's look at how his neighbor's doing. He can sell and seize. I mean, don't you have his autonomy? Yeah, you can do that, definitely. That's a lot of money, and then you seize again, and then you can build some forcement buildings. You could also build a manufacturer too. Although you only have them in grain, they're not that great in grain. You have some in livestock, but they likely have high autonomy. Mountain fort, so 2 defensive forts at least. I would delete this fort because this fort is just costing you money. If Yuan, which is your adversary, breaks these 2 forts, well, then your capital fort doesn't do much. You could get a fort in here if you're really worried. But yeah, delete that capital fort and save the money. Drilling is usually not a good idea. Like, if your nation is fully built, which it is not, then you can drill. But with, like, all these buildings missing, put that army off, take this fort off of maintenance, delete this fort, and now you're making a bit more money. Estates looks more or less correct. You have made it to the new world, so I guess you have fun over there. It's not that good in when we only allowed to have self-governing colony, but there's a lot of stuff to colonize down here as well that might be valuable for you. Yeah, take our farm maintenance. Now I'm making 15 ducats a month. Be sure to pump this into your nation. You do have a lot of land up here. There's no real defensive terrain in the beginning of it. Like, if you get this province, which is your vassal, you can fortify this up, and you can actually do that because AI doesn't delete forts anymore. And that forces you on. If if he wants to go to you and avoid the fort a long way up here, you could also build a fort here, and then you have a defensive line. You should try to step up as well. Sitting at 0 step is not ideal. You are not filling admin idea group, and you are on time with admin tech, right? This is 15%, yeah, so step up as soon as you can. Yeah, that is basically it for this nation. This nation also need to build itself up. Yeah. So I heard this nation of Yuan was a burning house. Negative 3 stab. Is he bankrupt? He's bankrupt. He's losing mandate, which gives him a lot of negative stuff. Good produced, unrest, damage received, manpower, mercenary manpower. It's really bad. You lost the mandate. You didn't lose the mandate, but that would arguably have been better for you. He is doing, well, decent. Well, not decent, but okay on ideas. You can sell NTs. I would like to do that. You have a looming disaster with unguarded nomadic frontier. I don't think you can stop that due to Uzbek being here. I mean, yeah, and Uzbek's gonna win this war against Kazan. What you arguably could do would be to release. This is your tributary, right? Yeah. So what I would do would be, I mean, it's a bit painful, but you can release a country here, and then you stop the disaster. Because then you don't border this big horde. That would likely be your choice of action, but you have to release either this nation or this nation. This nation is 6 provinces, but like, it's what, 35 development, 40 possibly. So yeah, that would be my first action. Quarters are coming into effect, so I don't think these guys can gang you again. But try to do your Diplo, see like, can you not be like coalitioned by these two again? You have a very bad fault line. Like, you have defensive terrain, but you have, like, I guess they can make it to your capital without, because there's 2 provinces here. So I guess, but right now they can just, they cannot just walk in because this one blocks it. So they can walk in over here until they hit this one, or they can go around here. Okay, that's agony. Oh, this is a wasteland. It's not vanilla. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's probably defended. But yeah, you're never gonna be able to fight with this low mandate. You have nowhere near your force limit. You're not up to date on ideas. Your income is decent. You're sitting on negative 3 stab. You just got out of bankruptcy, I would assume. Yeah, you can sell and seize. You have this one. This one is not good because leader cost is a bad modifier to have. Like, plus leader cost is a really bad modifier. You likely could have gained more. No, you don't have what do you call it? Expansion territory. So, like, ideally you want religious culture and you want this one removed. But that might make them unloyal if you when you sell and seize. So I would possibly keep this for now and take religious culture, and then you can take inward perfection later when you're not expecting like this delay to go around. When you're not expecting to declare wars. Yeah, your terrain is really not defensible. Yeah, and get this building done. You have the money at least, so there's that. Yeah, try to weather the bankruptcy as best you can. You have 4 years until the truce is up, and yeah, your bankruptcy is over, but your mandate is still shit. I don't know what the modifier for the mandate actually is to losing it. I don't know, but I think there's a negative modifier for that. Let's look at his buildings. He doesn't have to take for that. No manpower buildings, no menus, no workshops, few churches. Like, if you, that war it was really painful for you, like you have so many good buildings to build, like this is This is gonna pay them all themselves off really fast. Like, there's a lot of money to be had in here. But yeah, you're gonna be rebel swap stomping the next long time. Yeah, there's no on this guy in here. Mantic growth modifier, I guess that possibly can help you. But he's still losing 14, 10 from bankruptcy and 16 from devastation. So you'll actually start gaining once your bankruptcy is over and your devastation goes away. But you have a lot of devastation. And like, you need if you build a fort here, it does remove some of it, but it takes 2 years for the fort to build. And you don't have the mana to def it away. Like, you need 2 def clicks to get this amount away, and it only goes away with how much? 0.08 a month. So that's for like 1 a year. So it's 7 years, 8 years, 8.5 years until this is gone for you. Yeah, nothing really good in here. So your nation is agony, and I like the only like release this over here. Then you avoid the disaster, and then do your diplo. Like, your diplo is what saves you here, not any kind of nation building I can give you advice on. Han triggered gold never. Han is even more behind than it is. And no force limit. No manpower. Some workshops, nice to see. Some churches, no manufacturers, sadly. So a bit. He has a lot of forts going on. Holy shit. So delete this fort. This fort is protected by these two, but yeah, delete this one. Move this one in. Delete this. Build a new one here. Delete this. Delete this. Build one here. Delete this. That'll save you money, and it doesn't really come with cost. Sell this and then start building. Do that one, and yeah, you can build some on green. It will benefit you. Estates don't take increased levies. It's not good. Actually, it seems to have been buffed. He has 50% land control. It's 15%. You can see some burger loans. There's a lot of money to invest in your nation. You can also just put it all in force limit buildings and be significantly stronger than you are. Your income is looking good. You are collecting in Hangzhou. That indeed seemed correct. What did he lose in this war? He lost this. I would argue begun for this over here, but yeah. But you can just build up your nation. Like, you have so much money available compared to the others. Just start building it up. And Daviet also sitting at 0 stability. Even you filled eco already, so yeah, pump that up. Oh, that's a death question, yeah. Just need nobility in the officer corps. You have any vessels? You have 1 vessel. I guess you could also do that. Take the noble integration policy then. Yeah, this looks correct. If you can have, oh, actually, for Han, this is really bad for him, because right now this one exempt from seized land, meaning that nobility will gain control. But once he's done warring, like once he has like 1 player war every second session or every second session, he wants to have inward perfection, but that needs to have high clergy, and this one gives high nobility, so that's actually really bad for him. I don't know if Daviet has it. I guess we can just check it. And he also has inward perfection. So yeah, he should work on that. He can also just take the burger loans, get some money with the sell, and then he can invest in his nation. Most of the church is built, actually not too bad. No manpower buildings, doesn't have to take for that. No manufacturers, so yeah, definitely. Let me see, Wednesday, here's the map. Okay, Indonesia's still locked, but Burma's open for you. So yeah, you can, it's not trade, there we go. You can I go down here? But you can go up here. Okay, so yeah, your trade is never gonna be good until you can solidify Malacca. But yeah, just start building some manufacturers, I would say, and then gobble up what's remains over here. I don't know how much Han will take. Yeah, and nation looks. Remember to click the summon diet. Like you get rewarded for building trade building. Get a half costed advisor for improving relations, or get some prestige from tech devs. Like these two bottom ones here is like really good. Just press this button whenever you can. Okay, that was actually covered over here. Okay, let's go to look at Novgorod. Novgorod is in gold now. Maybe AI triggered that. Lacking 3 and eco, not that bad. How's Russia formation going? It's 3 techs away. He can sell. I would arguably do that. Go to 5 crown, seems to be fine. Although he's a duchy, not a lot, and he's gonna be empire soon. So, sell. He can have this one. He's given land rights away. I think that's likely correct because he must be hurting, right? Yep, he is hurting. So yeah, give this one away, and this one does cost land. Crowns, yeah. And they fixed this, so this is no longer bunkers, but this one should be taken. Once you have enough crown land for that. Nation is making a bit, not the best income. Has a bit of corruption, I guess, from event. Got some workshops done, some churches done, not much else. You can summon a diet. Like again, this is like this good stuff here. Like, okay, this one is weird. But you get basically 53 diplo power for supporting Britain's independence, and then you can just drop them again afterwards. This is conquering there, okay, and then build a shipyard down here. So for 1 free development, like that's arguably just take the one for supporting independence of Brittany and then drop them straight after. Running good on advisors. This nation is looking quite good. You likely don't need to have these forts maintained inside your nation. Like Rabbithine is not like this. Like these might be your enemies, but even if you don't maintain this fort, this fort, this fort, and this fort, it likely won't be a problem. But then again, you do have a lot of rebels on this fort up here as well. And you will be Russia soon, and you'll be going very good. So yeah, your nation is also on the way. But still needs some love and care. Persia. Persia has a bit of money in the bank. Persia can get a lot of money in the bank this way. Hey, here we go, money in the bank. And he can invest those in some workshops, some churches. There's like 2 churches I would build here. You can build some on livestock. Like right now they either don't have a workshop or have high autonomy because this one is like 0.45 usual on livestock, and livestock is gonna be worth more later. No manpower buildings. Yeah, he can build up a lot. He also has this monument, right? Yeah. Arguably upgrading that, like doing this, and then when you sell titles again or something, you can upgrade this monument. Nice income. Bit behind on the ideas. Like at this point, for any of you running, I want to see 12 ideas at least, possibly like roughly would be 14. How's his trade looking? Bam bam bam, looks fine. Yeah, especially because Khorasan and Sistan, which is not his subjects, is steering up to Persia. So the money's going the right way for you. And you also have rebels, so yeah, just go around and smack those. Average autonomy is a bit high, but it's getting better here. Centralized bureaucracy now. So let's see, it increases by 10 while he's at peace, but and he's not at peace. And then he can just manually lower it. Yeah, should be fine. Um, that said, you are filling eco. You are behind on admin tech. You're also behind on miltech though. I think you want to switch to admin focus so you can finish out eco ideas and get the tech 10 so you can actually start filling in mil at that point. You should just be catching up at mil at this point. It's a tech 10 so you can get mil tech 10 on time and you can get admin tech 10 on time, and then you can start dumping your excess mil points into next mil idea group. Yeah, nice force limit. So yep, has a lot to build up. Going into summer kind of gonna be nice for him. Taking control over this down here would be nice for him as well. Seljuk is in the gold now. Maybe that gets. I think that gets refunded. Not the best income. I think it was AI for the last some minutes or something. This one, please. Yes. You have a lot of crown land. This one, yes. Demi. You can take. That doesn't give him loyalty. Yeah, looks fine. Take. You have money now. You have lots of money. Feels good to be you now. Oh, yeah, look at this. Build these. Yes, these are good. And these two. And then you build a workshop on top of those once they finish. And then you hire this guy. And now your nation is on a better course. Are you going for forts? So seems like you're allied to Egypt for the time being, and Persia. I don't think that alliance can stick. Which means you might have an adversary in Bulgaria. And getting a fort here and possibly on the straits. Could like getting a fort here and here, then you have a defensive line. Getting a fort on the straits makes the straits a battle, or the crossings a battle. Yeah, well, nation is behind and needs some build up. Has a bit of high inflation. Really bad on ideas. Still, he's not focusing anything. He can focus something in a year. Would arguably say you should focus mill so you can finish up those quantity ideas. Yeah, with this ruler, he's gonna be able to catch up. Making plus 11 ducats, so I will likely hire the level 2 instead here. How is his trade going? He has 35%. Bulgaria has a lot and Venice has a bit. So, if I were you, I would hopefully try to get the Venetian islands. And then kick Venice completely out, like it's... but Bulgaria seems to have have 2 centers of trade. Actually, you have more centers of trade. Why does he have more trade power than you? I guess the Bosporus Sound too. And why? I think this must be the AI, please. And then build that one and one here as well. Yeah. Nation needs to catch up. You have a bit of rebels, and you have some forts not on borders with people that you can turn off. To save you a bit of money. Interesting that the Bulgaria got this one. Okay. Egypt. I think both Egypt and Novgorod is open for take for any players, but Egypt should fix his state. Basically, just for a player that shows up, convert to Jewish, and then form Israel. Make a deal with these guys, and Andalusia and Mutapa. Let me chill for the next 30 years. I'm not gonna take much more land. Like, let Persia have this. Let Seljuks have this. Uh, let Mutapa have this, and ask Andalusia to be nice, and then convert religion to Israel, because your national ideas, they suck. They are hot garbage, and the best way to mitigate that is tax switching to something, and I think the optimal course of action is Jewish. It's a nice religion, you have it already in your country, you can just start popping those rebels and get you converted. It's agony, but it will be worth it in the long run. So not gonna spend more time looking at Egypt. Zimbabwe, getting that good, juicy gold income. He's running 2v2. He started out feudalism and Renaissance, so yeah, this is going good for him. With that in mind, he's been gaming. I think he had Cold Bug or something. Anyway, he should ask for that and save it. He's starting to catch up in Miltech and Admin Tech. He's up to date in. He has a good ruler and a decent heir. So yeah, he should be able to build whatever buildings he can. Some churches, a lot of workshops, no barracks, no manufactories. I mean, he's getting there. He also took the Cape. He full caught the Cape. I think that's a mistake. I don't know with these additional provinces being added, but in vanilla, you can just into the trade company. Oh, of course he cannot trade company because it's the same continent. Yeah, okay, then he cannot trade company this. But he has all of Congo to expand into. He has one colonist that's colonizing the next province. You could have colonized this province, made a vassal of something, and fed it all this. You already have a vassal up here. Feed this vassal this. Okay, then I guess you still want another vassal over there, but then you can just use these guys' claims. Can you actually fabricate across this lake? I don't think so, because it's not a sea tile, it's just a lake. Like, it's impassable terrain. So I don't think these guys can actually fabricate on these guys over here. So yeah, you likely need to colonize this province and then get a vassal in here. And then feed it all this. But then again, yeah, you're starting eco to yeah, so you're gonna be struggling for admin mana. Okay, White Ruthenia. You can take. So you can be greedy and not take this tech, and take the idea. If you are expecting player wars, please take the tech. Yeah, he got the right thing here. He can still get the land rights, right? Yeah, that's the last one you really want there. He has strong duchies, that's gonna go away on its own. Religious culture, expansion military, correct. Yeah, he's behind on ideas. He can reclaim Ruthenia, left legacy. So he should do that when he can. He still needs some tech. I think he gets a better government form because he goes up to Sodom. That's very nice government form. Spending decent advisors. Your ruler is not the best. Like Industrious is amazing to have, but your heir is really really good. And you already made him a general. Good, good. Like when he's a general, his increased chance of dying. Not the highest autonomy. His income is lackluster. This merchant is collecting. I think you would arguably make more collecting in Krakow. But yeah, your trade is gonna be scuffed in this area. It always is. Your low patriarch authority. Actually, I think there's a mistake in here because Orthodox nations can get the plus one yearly, plus a half year yearly patriarch authority. I think you might want that over the administrative advisor cost. Let's see how he's doing for buildings. Oh, one workshop. A few churches. Yeah, well, he needs some buildings. I would go and no. You turn off your army maintenance and then you earn some money. And then you hope that your stronger allies, Novgorod particularly, you haven't looked at the others, they don't prey on you because you are not looking that hard right now. your income is very low, albeit your force limit is quite well, but you're behind on tech as well. Bulgaria has a bit of money in the bank. Here's corruption. Please just... Then you never have to like worry about it. Rights of the council is not a correct church. You needed the advisor cost in here. Religious cultures, the right one, expansion territory, and then you can get the yearly patriot of OFT. I would take that one. It doesn't cost Conland, right? No, it doesn't. You have the indebted. You can take this one. You don't have a lot of steps, so I don't think they're really worth a lot with these, so they're likely fine. You have mothballed your forts not on border provinces. I think that's wise. You should be arguably running a diplo advisor as well. You are really behind on admin tech. That's an issue. So this is a mistake a lot of people make. They take a lot of land and call them themselves. But you can vassalize it and then integrate them, and then you pay diplo point for the land instead. And then you can, because falling behind on Diplotech doesn't matter as much as Admintech, because Admintech is new ideas unlocked, and the buildings in there are usually a bit more like workshops he doesn't have access to, and the farm estates are a bit more valuable than the buildings you get in Diplotech at this stage. And Miltech is a big bomber. Yeah. That Bohemia got that one, okay. Your forts, like, if you want a defensive line against the north, you need a fort here, you need a fort here, and here. And then you have a defensive line against the north. Unless they were going to survive the Fenia and go around you. This one seems very good. You have the straight lockdown. You're building a lot of cavalry. Do you have anything cavalry like you have the Cossacks, I guess. Yeah, that might make it worth building cav. Just remember that you only have like once the age end, but we don't know when Protestantism will spawn. But once it ends, then you can don't run more than like 30% cav in your armies, because infantry usually takes more damage than cav, at least when there's not full combat with. So be careful not running too much cav. Yeah, there's not really buildings in this country either. So yeah, you need to focus on your income. You're doing mistakes here. So I know it says that you get a negative from like collecting multiple nodes, but you should definitely collect in Ragusa. So you move the merchant from Aleppo to Ragusa and collects there. And then you have your main trade node in Constantinople, and you collect in Ragusa and Constantinople. Arguably, you should. You don't have a lot of power up here. You should collect in Ragusa, definitely. That'll make you more money. And then you need to try your best to catch up. Get your second ideas unlocked, get your first idea filled. Need your rebels. You have no more expansion except for a bit of Venice, so you just need to like sort your internal stuff. Okay, Pomerania, not to forget this time. That's a very low income. He needs religion. I guess maybe he's converting to Hussite, I don't know, to get pressure formation. That said, he's doing good on ideas compared to some of the others. He's behind on tech. Actually has a decent force limit. Running 1-on-1 ELI, that's likely the stuff he can afford. No barracks. A few workshops. No churches. No menus. So, yeah, just sit tight. Hopefully nobody's gonna threaten you until you get formation. of Prussia, and then possibly you can play the game then. Uh, would be my hope for you. I don't know what else to say. Like, I know Gitte, you're quite a decent player. Country looks decent, although increased levies not that good. I would say by clergy either also not that good. Like right now you are Slavic religion, whatever that it does. I think it does good stuff here. Where do you see Slavic religion on this world map? Where? Because I see it one place and that's your country. So tell me, are you ever going to find a country that's not Slavic? No, you're not. Unless you pop up nations of yourself, that would be anything. So expansion is territory. Yeah. It's not terrible. Has a bit of high autonomy. Unlike Bulgaria, I don't think it's right for you to collect in Lübeck. I mean, you're in one ducat there. Play around with it and see if you can earn more. You're also collecting here. Plus, you can possibly earn more by steering in Krakow. And steering in Kiev. And then collecting in Baltic Sea. But I would check that out. Wouldn't be certain. But I don't think the Saxony merchant is correct. Like, at least collecting Krakow, then that would make more money. This one, or I guess expansion, I guess. Denmark. So Denmark had a war secession that they lost. They didn't lose anything themselves. Just do this already. Rights of the council, nobility in the Alpha Corps will be better. Oversight by this, blah blah blah. Getting the what do you call it? The religious culture would be better. Merchant looks decent. I guess you take these and then you kind of get the burger loans. You are drilling. So if you're drilling, I want your nation to be built. Ah, okay. That's some barracks. That's some workshops. That's some churches. It doesn't have to tech for this yet. No manufactories. So arguably he's not that wrong by drilling. Like, I still don't think it's the right thing for him to do. Also, what is this? What? So you have the Lauenburg fort. That's a good fort. But you have Hamburg and Lübeck fort. Those are not good forts. You have Bremen fort. Those are not good forts. You have good forts nearby. You have Lüneburg. You have Wismar. You have Dithmarschen. These are very superior forts to the three you have right now. Also, one fort in there might save you a lot of trouble later. Yeah, you can form the North Sea Empire. It's completely broken. Nice force limit. Up to date on ideas. Mostly up to date in tech, only lacking a bit on the admin tech. So yeah, this is maybe bar Egypt and Novgorod. This is one of the better looking countries, even though he had a player war. He is building workshops, early roads. Oh yeah, people build those apparently. These roads here, I comment on them. This early road, it's not good. This early road is not good. The stuff it gives is so minor compared to what a workshop, a church, a barrack, a regimental camp, and a manufacturer gives. Like, yes, it's not a negative building because you can get it for free. It doesn't require a build slot. But you don't need these. You build these once you're capping on your other buildings. And when they really get interesting is the third one, because that comes roughly same time with the university. And the university is nerfed in this, so it's only 10 death cost. So that's when the votes really kick in. You want them at the same time as university. You don't need them right now. They don't really benefit you. Okay, that was my rant about votes. They are money sink once your nation is built. Just like Monument is for the most part also a money sink once your nation is built. That's the monument. So let me find a monument. Okay, let's see. Versailles. This is not. It's not used as modifier as this. There's national tax modifier. There's a nobility loyalty. There's nobility influence. Those are good modifiers. But this monument is a money sink once you have other stuff built. This one is even worse. It's basically not even worth a money sink once your nation's built. This one, arguably with the stab cut, is worth the money sink. Tower of London, worth the money sink once your nation is built. This one is one of the ones that we could argue that this, because of goods produced, that is more valuable than other buildings. But the roads are just a money sink once your nation is built. And yeah, we stuck to 40. It's agony to look at. Bohemia is losing money. Bohemia is in multiple wars. And AI does unconditional surrender right now. I guess he might be having AE troubles with this peace deal. He cannot take this province. So he wants to take these provinces first because this is his other war. He's up to date on ideas. Good job. He's buying on tech. I would just vassalize Cleves, and then you don't get all this war score, war exhaustion. Just vassalize it because you need the admin right now more than you need the diplo. That said, you need to focus mill when you can. You could take something here. Well, you've got all that matters for you. Guess this one might save you a bit of a rebel or two. You also still have a capital fort. Like, I guess you might not be able to properly defend it, but you do have defensive terrain around here. Styria is still independent. Okay. You're invading Moravia. I think that's a very good choice because they have a gold mine. Estates also have increased levies. Nah. Have oversight by clergy. Nah. And again, you are Hussite. Where is Hussite on this map? Where? It's here. It's only your nation. It's a no-brainer. Come on. And get rid of this and replace it by religious culture. You can sell, get some self-money, you can take a gender, get a church and get a tax for it. Convert. Yeah, like, get one of these. Now I gave you some money, you can use that to build one of the workshops that you've built a lot of. Churches are also looking decent. You can build more force limit buildings, you can build more manpower buildings, you can build the manufactory. Other than that, nation is looking quite well managed, especially being up to date on ideas. Bavaria. Strong duchies, yes, that's gonna go away in itself. And then don't take the manpower thing. You take the nobility in the officer corps. Oversight by clergy can go as well, and church sanctuaries. Those two can go. And then religious culture and expansion distillery. Although you are Catholic, and there's a lot of Catholic around, so I would just leave it open. And then if you fight someone that's not Catholic, then you take it. Like if you're expecting Warlord of India or Lombardy, then you don't take it, but just leave it open. He deleted his capital forts. He also built the roads. Oh no, he built them in every single province he has. Instead he could. So, how many roads? There goes, what? A bit more than 2 roads on one force limit building. So you could have force limit buildings in a third of your nation. Or, like, I don't think these roads are a trap. Other than that, nation is looking decent. He's updating ideas, doing decent on income. He can do interactions here. I mean, if you build all those roads, do depth to the burger. There we go, and then maybe up to 5. Take this one, get a useful one. And then you have 2k ducats you can invest in your nation. Lombardy. So I would arguably say Lombardy is the nation doing the second best in the game. His estates look almost quite. He just needs religious culture. He can take something in here, but they already quite happy. I guess he could make them more happy by giving them free enterprise. He's a bit behind on ideas. He's focused on admin, so he should have cleared that one out soon. Very good income. I mean, there's a lot of qualities to accept here. Question is if it's worth accepting them or he's gonna be Empire before that. Doesn't look like he gets it from here now. But he has more of Italy to gobble up, and then he can def his land. He's also drilling. I guess, how built is he? Not so built that I would say he should be drilling. He also built the roads everywhere. Freaks. He got mountains all in the north. Verona is still independent. Sicily still independent. Yeah, getting Venice probably out of the game will actually help a lot of players. It's just an AI that's stealing money. Nah, it's not that bad anymore, I guess. Yeah, nation is looking fine. Not many comments on this. Lags a bit here, but and he can expand. Like, yeah, you gotta have Italy, and then you can dev it all to 20 in like what 50 years, and then he has to expand somewhere. So there's different directions he can go. Andalusia seems like a tough knock. Bavaria, Bulgaria, or Germany, or Lithuania, I guess. Gonna be interesting to see what he does, but like having entire Italy as base is more than enough to be a contender for one of the strongest nations in the game. For the first 200 years or so. We covered all the Germans. Covered him. Using England, Lithuania, and Andalusia. England lost the war on the mainland. England's gone colonial. How much does he actually see? He sees quite a bit. Okay. He's colonizing quite slow. But yeah, I guess he's going colonial. He's way behind in Andalusia on the race for colonial, but I guess that's how it is. Not the best income for England. I don't think it's I mean, everything is moving in here. There's not moving in here. Maybe it's correct. Otherwise, might try to send your merchant to Lübeck and see how your income changes. But only having 2 merchants in England is of course agony when you have what 5 nodes flowing into your node. And yeah, even though you don't have mainland, you can still like put modifiers and ships and etc. have most of the trade power here, as we can see. How built is he? Not very built, it seems. So yeah, England needs to do better of catching up. I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake. But this is definitely a mistake. Let's see. How many ruled provinces does he have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 11 or 12 ruled provinces that he's getting no income from. What does he get from it? Some happy church people. What is that, like 5% tax you otherwise wouldn't get? Something like that. Yeah, get this pissed off far away as you possibly can, as soon as you can. And then get the religious culture. Way better thing for your nation. You are paying for your armies. Why though? Another thing, like you saw your navy could be beaten. Don't mothball it then, if you're expecting. I mean, you still have truce with Andalusia, right? Yeah. But also fortify these 2 provinces. Like, if Andalusia lands an island and has naval supremacy, even if he doesn't have naval supremacy but have better land, which is not unlikely, and he just occupies this province, then you can't, like, you'll have a hard time crossing over. So pleased with that. Yeah, like he can def England to the skies, I guess. And I don't know what he's gonna do. He's colonizing, so maybe he's going. I don't know where he's going. To North America, likely. But then again, colonies doesn't give that much because you can only have crown colonies. Lotharingia. Uh, behind an admin. Focusing admin, good. Likely trying to fire radical reforms. Estates. Um, and then remove this when you can. That one. And that one. This one is like one of the better estates units because it makes them loyal all the time. Gives plus 10 loyalty to all estates. And influence, so you get more bonuses from them. And I guess there's nothing wrong here. You can summon the diet. Build an army for a nation. Gain general. Number of loans less than one. Yeah, this can be done. And get a half price advisor. Yeah, I guess he would be trying to lock down the rest of the English Channel up here, and then like take this before the Germans and the Danish take it all from him. See how the border is gonna be like down here. Gonna be interesting. Other than that, his nation is looking decent. Lacking of the tech on the tech, of course. Decent income. No manpower buildings. No force. Bit of force buildings. Some workshops. A few churches. He just he's gaming. Oh holy shit! He just built a shit ton. Good job on that. I think I called him into this war. So yeah, like with all these buildings, it will be looking very good for him. And lastly, my own nation. So filled an event expo expansion, made it to Caribbean, made it to North America, made it to South America. Just chilling over there. I got the Bordeaux trade node, Bordeaux trade node where I can divert trade from Brittany. I must have clicked the wrong one here. That one. Locked civilian node down. No manpower buildings. Some force limit buildings. A lot of workshops. A few churches. A lot of manufactories. I still need, I have a lot of bonuses to need to build. 1.3k def. Being over Govcraft by a bit. And having not fully stated a lot of my land, so I maybe have to give that away in the States instead. So I guess I have to do that. Otherwise, I like my states. How set up. Noble. This one will go away in itself once I integrate the various subjects I have. Likely not looking to expand that much more. I think I'm mostly set for that. Gonna sit here and chill and see how well I can build this nation. And have fun in the new world with killing natives and just getting rich of that, but that's the only thing that they're gonna give me. So, thanks for tuning in.